A fire in a rusted shopping cart. A homeless man sitting in an alley. A man sleeps sitting up, wrapped in a blanket that's more memory than fabric. This is Cass. 20 years living outside has stripped him down but not hollowed him out. Cass still has a smile on his face. A low hum, like streetlights whispering. A quiet night. Cass now tucked in his sleeping bag. It's raining, but he has a small tarp coving some of him. The next morning, Cass is at a homeless shelter that's serving coffee. Cass stands in line for coffee at the shelter's morning breakfast. He looks like a man who knows this routine all too well, but still has a smile on his face. A social worker approaches. Social worker says to him, "Cass, they approved you. I've got a key for you, your first apartment." Cass freezes, like he heard something impossible. "Me?" he asks, not really believing it. He's never had a home before and is not sure if the woman is telling him the truth. A few days later, he goes to meet the social worker about signing a lease and to pick up his key. The key sits on the table, dull brass chipped at the teeth. A small label reads, "Room 00, Miller Manor Residence." Cass reaches for the key. The fluorescent lights flicker as his fingers touch the metal, just long enough to feel that he hasn't felt one in a long time. He arrives. The next day, he's heard stories about the place, but he's hopeful. A 7-story building hunched between nicer houses. Each apartment has a small balcony. Cass stands at the entrance, staring up at the 7-floor building. He enters the lobby. There is a room with a glass partition between the lobby and where the staff sit, and are monitoring who comes in and out. The lobby is strangely bright, almost overlit. A front desk lady, behind the glass, wearing thick glasses, blank smile, slides a brown lunch-size bag across the counter. Inside, a glass pipe, foil, rubber tube, needle, and a condom. The front desk lady tells him that it's his safe welcoming kit. "Welcome kit?" he laughs, thinking it's a joke. "This way you don't burn your lip," she smiles. Behind her, a stack of identical bags, hundreds of them. He reluctantly takes the bag, and then starts looking for his apartment. Cass walks down the hallway toward his apartment. He passes a resident, a woman with hollow eyes and trembling hands. She tries to smile and puts her arms around him. The woman says to him, "Hey, baby, need a friend? $20 so I can buy tampons. I need something to stop the bleeding, please," she begs. "No," he says, but she pushes forward and kisses him on the cheek, and her slobber runs down his face. He politely turns down her offer. Cass shakes his head and moves on. Her smile drops instantly, like a mask removed. A loud argument somewhere down the hall. A fight between couples happening somewhere in the building. He finds his apartment, a small room, clean, nice, and he's hopeful that things will be okay. Cass sits on his bed, letting the night settle over him. But the quiet isn't quiet. Muffled voices coming from the hallway. He leans in and listens. The voices were talking about a man who died yesterday, how it took a few days to find him. That night, Cass lay in bed, wondering what he's gotten himself into. His first month there, Cass had witnessed 4 deaths of residents he didn't know. The ambulance would show up, and they would be wearing white protective outfits, and they would roll the gurney out to the awaiting ambulance with a sheet covering the dead. Then that was it. They were gone. A week later, Cass attends his first AA meeting, facilitated by a nice woman. He asks her about the deaths and safe smoking kits. She just shrugs and says those are a big money makers for the apartment. They make thousands and thousands of dollars giving those out, helps keep the lights on. Cass speaks, and his voice cracks with anger that's been waiting to surface. Cass tells the people in the AA meeting they're dying there. No one even tries to hide it. They give him these kits, death bags. People shift uncomfortably. Some nod. Some look scared. Cass continues speaking. "It ain't right. Ain't fair. You're supposed to help people live, not give them the tools to self-destruct." A skinny, slender man in the back watches him a little too closely. He's one of the guys that runs the trafficking of bad behavior, and Cass can tell he doesn't like him. Cass returns home. A police cruiser and ambulance is parked out front. Officers wheel a stretcher out the door. A body zipped in black plastic. Next to it, on the stretcher's edge, a shiny, unused pipe, catching the streetlight like a signal. Cass whispers to himself, "How many is that now?" He can't remember. He's only been there a month. What Cass didn't know then was his future was about to become very dangerous and very deadly. And part 1.